A darkness gathers on the horizon, not of night, but of an empire's wrath. Hundreds of sails, a tide of warships, emerge from the mist, an unstoppable force bearing down upon a small island. The crashing waves seem to whisper a dirge, a faint, distant drum beat echoes across the restless sea. This is Tsushima, 1274. Here, fewer than 100 samurai stand against the might of the Mongol Empire. Their fate, it seems, is a funeral written in advance, a sacrifice preordained by the very gods of war. The Mongol Empire, a name that once struck terror into the hearts of nations, was a force unlike any the world had ever known. Forged in the crucible of Genghis Khan's ambition, it was expanded by his grandson Kublai Khan into a dominion stretching from the Pacific shores to the very gates of Europe. Their rule was absolute, their reach seemingly limitless. Mongol military prowess was legendary, built on a foundation of ruthless efficiency and unparalleled discipline. Their cavalry swept across continents like a plague, their composite bows rained death from afar, but their most potent weapon was fear itself, a psychological terror that preceded their arrival. Cities that dared to resist were not merely conquered, they were erased from the map, their populations turned into graveyards. The Mongols left behind only silence and dust, a chilling testament to their unyielding will. Yet one glittering prize remained defiant, refusing to bow before the Khan's might, Japan. For years, Kublai Khan had sent letters, envoys, and warnings demanding submission. Each overture was met with cold silence, then outright contempt. Rumors, whispered across the seas, spoke of Mongol emissaries executed, their heads displayed as a grim warning. Such an insult, such an affront to the great Khan could only have one response. Kublai Khan declared war. 13th century Japan was a land shaped by the sword, ruled by warriors under the iron fist of the Kamakura shogunate. Here, the samurai were not merely soldiers, they were the living symbols of a profound and ancient code. Their very existence was a testament to its enduring power. This was the Bushido Code, a philosophy that emphasized loyalty above all else, honor as the very breath of life, and sacrifice as the ultimate expression of devotion. For a samurai, death in battle was not a defeat, but a glorious fulfillment of purpose. Their combat practices were steeped in ritual, a stark contrast to the pragmatic brutality of the Mongols. Before a duel, a samurai would declare his name, his lineage, and his past deeds, seeking a worthy opponent. This was not just fighting, it was a sacred performance. Such traditions, however noble, were tragically ill-equipped for the overwhelming impersonal force of Mongol warfare. The samurai's adherence to individual honor and ritualistic combat stood in stark opposition to the Mongols' brutal efficiency, their massed formations, and their relentless, unyielding advance. The clash was not just between armies, but between two fundamentally different philosophies of war. One sought glory in individual prowess, the other sought total annihilation through overwhelming force. The storm broke on November 4th, 1274. A massive fleet, estimated at 800 to 900 ships, darkened the waters off Tsushima. A colossal army, numbering between 20,000 and 40,000 soldiers, Mongols, Chinese, and Koreans, prepared to descend. Their first target, the small, unsuspecting island of Tsushima, was merely a stepping stone. Tsushima's defense was led by Governor So Sukekuni, a man of advanced years but unyielding spirit. He rallied what forces he could, a mere 80 samurai and their retainers, perhaps 200 men in total. They stood on Komoda Beach, a thin line against an ocean of invaders. As a symbolic warning, a desperate plea to the gods, Sukekuni ordered the burning of the local shrine of Hachiman, the god of war. It was a final, defiant act, a prayer for strength in the face of certain doom. The battle unfolded with a ferocity born of desperation. Initial samurai bravery was astonishing, their individual skill cutting down many invaders. In a moment of fierce defiance, they even managed to kill a Mongol commander, a small victory against impossible odds. But the Mongols possessed superior weaponry, tools of war unknown to the Japanese. Their gunpowder bombs, terrifying devices known as Iron Thunder, exploded with deafening roars, shattering the samurais' formations and their morale. The tide turned swiftly and brutally. The samurai were hopelessly outnumbered, outgunned, and soon encircled. Yet they fought to the last man, refusing to surrender, refusing to yield an inch of their sacred soil. Their code demanded nothing less than death before dishonor. Governor So Sukekuni, at 67 years old, led a final desperate charge into the heart of the Mongol horde. He died there, sword in hand, a testament to the unwavering spirit of the samurai. The immediate aftermath of Tsushima was a scene of utter devastation. The island was effectively erased, its villages burned, its civilians slaughtered without mercy. Shrines and temples, once sacred havens, were reduced to ashes. Yet, the samurai's sacrifice, though seemingly futile, bought crucial time. Their desperate stand, their refusal to break, delayed the Mongol advance just long enough. This precious time allowed Japan to prepare, to brace for the inevitable invasion of Hakata Bay on the mainland. Then, as the Mongol fleet prepared its final assault, something extraordinary occurred. The samurai at Hakata Bay, learning from Tsushima's tragedy, adopted new, desperate tactics. They launched daring raids, ambushes under the cover of darkness, and sent fire ships into the enemy fleet. But it was nature itself that intervened, a force far greater than any army. A sudden, furious storm, a typhoon of unimaginable power, descended upon the Mongol fleet. It tore through their ships, scattering them like kindling, sinking hundreds, drowning thousands. This was the divine wind, the kamikaze, a miracle that saved Japan. Tsushima was a defeat, a bloody, tragic loss. Yet, in the crucible of that impossible stand, something immortal was forged. It proved that defiance, even against the greatest empire the world had ever known, was not only possible but could inspire a nation. The Battle of Tsushima, combined with the miraculous storm, became more than just history. It became a national myth. Japan was seen as a divine land, protected by the gods themselves, guarded by warriors whose courage transcended mortal limits. This belief became a cornerstone of their identity. The Mongols returned in 1281 with an even larger fleet, a force of over 140,000 men. But again, they were repelled, their invasion thwarted by a combination of Japanese resilience and another devastating typhoon. Tsushima had laid the groundwork for this second, even more improbable victory. The sacrifice at Tsushima became a cornerstone of the samurai spirit, a testament to unwavering commitment to honor, to facing impossible odds with unyielding resolve. It is a story that echoes through the centuries, a fierce whisper of courage in the face of overwhelming darkness. There are countless other forgotten stories of courage, of sacrifice, of defiance against impossible odds. We invite you to explore them, to delve deeper into the annals of history. Subscribe to our channel for more narratives that illuminate the enduring spirit of humanity